My name is Tia Colburn. I'm the Artistic Director of Great Lakes Dance Academy in Sarnia, Ontario. I started dancing when I was 5 years old, and I started training in ballet when I was about 8 years old. I continued training in ballet until I was 18, seriously just in all forms of dance, and then went to Performing Arts College when I graduated high school. Ballet is an artistic dance practice performed to music using specific gestures and movements. It originated in the Italian Renaissance courts of the 1500s. There are many styles of ballet now. There's classical ballet, the ballets that are so well known like the Nutcracker and Swan Lake. Then there's neoclassical, more modern ballets in the same style. And there's also contemporary ballet, which is a fusion of modern dance and ballet. There are many methods of ballet taught all around the world. Some of the examples are the Vaganova method, and it originates in Russia, the Bournonville method, which is from Denmark, the RAD, the Royal Academy of Dance, which is a British method, and the method that we teach at Great Lakes Dance Academy is the Cicchetti method, which is an Italian method. Ballet is a challenging form of dance because it is very specific, and although it is an artistic expression, there are very strict confines in the ways that you learn the technique and use your body. Of all the dance styles, it has the most set and direct method of placement of the body, and it obviously, after years and years of practice, produces really excellent dancers. So it's a proven method, but it's not something that you can achieve in a year or two or even 10 years. It takes a lifetime of practicing, and even if you asked a professional dancer, they'd probably still say that they weren't finished perfecting their technique.
Put my hair in a bun and stretch. I put my hair in a bun and I just grab my water bottle and fill it up. I put my hair in a bun and just make sure I have my shoes on and grab my water bottle, fill it up, and rush to class.
To prepare for ballet class, I stretch, I look through my book, and I study the theory.
To prepare for class, I stretch and do basic warm-up.
I warm up a little bit, and I sit on the floor stretching, just chatting with my friends.
Training in ballet can be very demanding on the body, but there are some very important things that a dancer can do to continue to train and move forward and prevent injury and keep their body healthy. Some of the things that they can do for themselves is to warm up before class, arrive early, and make sure that their body is ready to dance before they come in to the class and the class begins. Ballet has a very set order of exercises, then we do them at the ballet bar for the first half hour of class, and so if you arrive late, you miss the warm-up, and if you step right into doing challenging, strenuous exercises, you put yourself at risk for injury. Another thing that dancers can do, and lots of dancers at our school do, is cross-train, whether it's other styles of dance or other fitness activities, running and swimming and weight training. Ballet is very good for the body, but it trains certain muscles, and other muscles sometimes aren't as used. So to keep your body in peak condition, cross-training is really important. A healthy diet, eating lots of healthy food and on a regular basis, making sure that you come into class fueled rather than hungry before you start. Drinking lots of water, making sure you're hydrated. Another thing a dancer can do for themselves is to get themselves in the right mindset. Practicing at home and focusing on their technique outside of class can help them have thought through what they need to do when they come into class. And I encourage all the dancers to have a goal in mind. Sometimes we do short-term goals, sometimes we have long-term goals. If you can come into each class with a goal of being better than the last time you were in class, you continually push yourself and you improve in increments. And then you can set a long-term goal for a challenging step that you know that you're not ready for yet, but you can take all the small steps, and then by the end of the year, hopefully you'll be able to achieve that goal.
The hardest part of ballet class is keeping your posture and my shoulders down.
Mostly the technique and all the discipline it takes.
Trying to point my toes and focusing on the teacher because everything in ballet is fun.
One of the hardest parts about ballet is probably all the technique, like how you have to always have your posture.
The hardest part about ballet class for me is trying to keep my turnout.
Trying to make sure my foot is always pointed by my ankle.
Students usually can begin dance as early as 3 years old, as long as a student is able to follow directions from a teacher and participate in group activities. They're ready to start dance. If they're 3 years old, they're more than likely going to be in a creative movement class, which is exploring the different ways the body moves and connecting those movements with music, working towards being able to memorize and learn routines. But a lot of it is just indulging their creativity and sparking an interest and a love of movement and dance. After 3, 4, and 5-year-olds usually are in some sort of creative movement class. And then after that, they can move into a pre-ballet class, which would start to set the foundations for serious ballet training. At Great Lakes Dance Academy, when children are 7 or 8, then they can enter into our Cicchetti ballet program. Students dance a minimum of twice a week, and they work towards exams. We are members of the Cicchetti Council of America, and there are 4 student exams, and then there are an elementary, intermediate, and advanced exams that students can take part in. The elementary, intermediate, and advanced are professional level exams, and these exams are given all over the world in Cicchetti councils in North America and in Europe. So they're a very standardized and high-level exam that takes a lot of work and dedication.
When I was about 4 years old,
I started to do ballet when I was 3.
I started ballet when I was 3 years old.
I started ballet probably when I was 3 years old.
I started ballet when I was 3.
3 years old. 5 hours.
I dance 13 hours a week.
I dance around 13 hours a week.
about 15.
An advanced dancer at Great Lakes Dance Academy can dance upwards of 15 hours a week in a variety of styles, at least 2 classes a week in ballet, and that usually is between 2 and 3 hours depending on the level they're at. If a student were to be accepted into a classical ballet professional training program, they could be dancing 15 to 20 hours a week in ballet training alone, different styles of ballet and different conditioning and training techniques, as well as partnering classes and point classes, and it would be a very high level and intense program, which students would also have to continue with their regular schoolwork and then have that intense ballet experience on top of that.
I started taking ballet, so I become a better dancer, and I was told that if you wanted to do intensive study and get into higher levels, you always had to take ballet, and it's also one of my favorite dances.
I started taking ballet because I thought it was going to be fun, and I think it would have helped me do more things, like other cool tricks.
Well, I saw a couple pictures of point shoes and professional dancers, and I knew one day I just wanted to be like them.
My friend was gonna start ballet, so I wanted to start doing ballet with her.
I think it's really good for your muscles and that you could have fun.
I was going through this phase of wanting to try everything, and dance was one of them.
I think that dancers take ballet for a variety of reasons. A young dancer joining between 3 and 6 probably was signed up by a parent who maybe noticed that they really enjoyed movement when music was on in the home. An older dancer, older than 6 or 7, may have elected that ballet was their passion already and they want to join ballet. And a lot of students also come to ballet because they really have an interest in another style of dance, but it's a well-known and accepted standard that all good dancers should have some ballet training and technique to improve their dancing across the board. The root technique for almost all styles of dance, at least in North America and in Europe, is ballet because of the strict placement and control and technique that is trained into the body. Many dance styles that we enjoy now, such as jazz and even contemporary and tap even, have come after ballet, and many of the originators of these new styles were ballet dancers and had the technique in place and created this new style of dance with a body that could already execute ballet. So that vocabulary is transferred and transformed into these new styles. So even today, dancers who are a modern dancer, a contemporary dancer, a jazz dancer need to know and be able to execute these ballet techniques.
It helps me with my core during like jazz tap.
Well, ballet helps me point my toes and make me better at posture.
Ballet helps me in my other classes with my core strength and my turnout in jazz and sometimes in tap.
For turnout, for strength in my legs and core strength, it helps me a lot.
With my technique and my pointed toes, my turnout, so all the important things that you have to have in every class.
Studying ballet for a student offers much more than physical fitness. It offers a creative outlet, and it also, different than many other physical endeavors, a lot of focus in class and a lot of mental stamina is required, because when you come into a ballet class, the teacher leads the class, you are focused on your own body, and it doesn't improve, the technique doesn't improve over a month or even 6 months. You have to be able to dedicate yourself to these simple basic movements for year after year, and that kind of dedication can serve a student, and in the long run, beyond the dance floor. They can take that into their schoolwork, they can take that into their university studies, they can take that into the workplace, and a person who has that sort of dedication and focus can really apply that in a lot of areas of their life, and it's a really good lesson. And dancers who learn that really go on often to do really great things, even if it's not on the dance floor.
Well, what most I focus on is trying to point my toes and doing really awesome twirls. I focus on pointing my toe and making sure I'm doing the right step.
My technique.
I focus on most is my turnout.
Some of the best students in ballet class are the ones who don't just come into the class physically, they also come into the class mentally, and they put a lot of mindful effort into what they're doing. This has a lot to do with artistry, because anybody can put their arm out to the side of their body, but somebody who can do it with grace and purpose and the right amount of effort, decidedly, rather than just whatever happens, is really building a creative mind, and also strengthening not only their artistic muscle, but their self-assessment and their ability to make choices beyond just the physical aspect of dance. And I think that that's a really important thing for any person to be able to do.
The best part of ballet class is learning new skills.
The best part of ballet class is when you get to do a dance.
The best part about ballet class is probably listening to the music. I really love music.
I don't think there is a best part. I like it all.
I have loved ballet for a long time, since I was a young girl, and I've really grown to see it in a new light since I've become a ballet teacher. I really enjoy teaching ballet because it is a long-term commitment, and I really get to see students grow from young children into young adults and watch how they develop as a dancer and an artist, but also as a person. And I feel a lot of pride when I see a dancer that has accomplished their goals, and I've had a part in them reaching their goals, whatever their goals may be. Maybe it is in dance and performing, but maybe it's getting accepted into a university program that they really were passionate about getting in, that had nothing to do with ballet. But I know that the dedication that they learned in class by coming to class every week and working hard has played a role in them developing the skills to achieve those goals. I don't know if I have a favorite part of ballet class, but I think that the performances, when you get to apply everything that you've learned and you get to go out on stage, and that's when a dancer really receives the appreciation for all the hard work that they've done. As a teacher, I think that seeing the students reach that point and go out on stage and really show what they've accomplished in class and use their artistry in the performing, in the recitals, and in our shows, I think that is probably the best payoff for a ballet student. As you grow older, I do think, though, that you grow to love your class time as much as it, maybe even more than your time on stage, because you do spend so much more of your time in class than you do on stage generally. As a teacher, my favorite parts of the year are when we do exams in March, usually the 2 weeks leading up to the exam, when the students are really focused and they really are achieving the goals that they set out in entering an exam. Those are the weeks that I really enjoy and feel a lot of pride in my students. So as a teacher, those are very satisfying weeks for me.
Ballet means fun and some other things that I can't think of.
One of my favorite classes, so it helps me.
Ballet is getting to express yourself in a way other than speaking.
It means having good posture and having fun.
Ballet to me means a form of art.
Ballet means artistry.
Ballet to me, and what it has been in my life, is stability. It is reliable. It has variety, but it's fairly predictable when you walk into a class. I love that I have the knowledge and the skill in ballet class to walk into a ballet class anywhere in the world and understand what's going on in that class, even if I don't speak the language. I love that it is standardized to a degree around the world, and that there are enough people passionate about it that it has continued on and grown for hundreds of years. And I feel like we're in a very exciting time right now where it's becoming popular again, and it's becoming more mainstream, and the more mainstream that it comes, the more innovators come out of the woodwork and are respected, and that's how an art form grows and changes and improves. So I think that we're in a very exciting time for dance and ballet right now, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of decades to see where ballet goes.
We love ballet!